Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. This is the second episode in growing a summer garden. First episode, I planted these 3 boxes right here. Now I've added in some containers. I'll talk a little bit about them, but I'll introduce them slowly over the series. The main focus is really these 3 garden beds. I planted seeds, we did transplants, and they're all doing really well. It's been 4 weeks since that first video. And the first thing that I need to do is I need to weed everything out and get some mulch down on the soil, and that's what I want to talk about first. So the soil in this box isn't the best. I mean, it's just kind of sandy, not a lot of organic matter. You don't have to spend a lot of money to have the perfect soil in each of your raised beds before you start. You can amend it, add to it, and over the years you'll get better and better soil. This was good enough for the okra right in here to germinate. We're going to thin that down to 1 plant. You only want 1 plant coming up there. The cilantro is all up. Cucumbers came in. So I'm going to weed out this bed. The mulch I'm going to use is grass clippings. I'll show you how to do that. The tomatoes are doing really well. They're going to have to get pruned at the bottom. I will do that and talk a little bit about that. That humming sound that you hear in the background are cicadas. We're on the East Coast. That's a cicada, and there are thousands of them around here. So you're going to hear this kind of a shrill sound for the next probably 2 or 3 weeks in my videos. Potatoes are coming up. They're in grow bags. I've added these. I'll talk about them. I want to come over here, show you the eggplant. The eggplant are doing really, really well. Notice the white dust on my plants. I recommend that you pick up for your arsenal and insect dust. You can buy organic insect dust, you can buy the synthetic type, whatever you're comfortable with. Just keep in mind that any kind of insect dust kills all insects at contact. So it will kill the bees, it will kill the pollinators. I use it in a very targeted way. I put it on the plants in the evening, I remove it in the morning or that day, and I tend to not put it on plants that have flowers, or I put it on the outer leaves. So there's not a lot of flowers here, there's not a lot of pollinators here. But I get flea beetles. So flea beetles, that's a weed right over there. But all those holes are from flea beetles. They were also affecting my pepper plants. I'm sorry, my eggplant. They were on the pepper plants, didn't do much damage. They were affecting my tomato plants. So I dusted the entire garden. In 1 or 2 dustings, you can control flea beetles. They look like little black specks of pepper on the leaves, and they hop around. Not everybody gets them. So while you're growing your garden, you may get fungal diseases or insects that I don't get, and vice versa. But an insect dust is a good way to treat a lot of problems with insects. Just keep in mind that it will kill all kinds of insects. So let me get this weeded, and we'll progress through taking care of the plants that are in here, getting the mulch down, and then we're going to talk a little bit about composting, because that's something you should start now, and we'll go over to my compost piles over there. I weeded out this bed, and I don't know, let's see if we can find any. Anyway, there's little tiny black ants all over the place. So here you go. So as I was weeding, I was messing up their colony. They're crawling all over the place. Kind of nasty. I'm going to treat those later. First thing I want to do is take care of the plants, and just want to show you, we put in 2 cucumber seeds in each hole. 2 came up in this area, only 1 came up in there, and only 1 came up in the further one. And you can see that they sprouted at different times. So it may be anywhere from 5 to 15 days for your cucumbers to sprout and come up, but they're looking pretty good. So first thing we're going to do, well, second thing, we weeded. Next is I want to put down a mulch. A mulch is going to stop the soil from splashing up on the undersides of the leaves of your plants, which is good. Sometimes there's soil-borne diseases, but you're really doing this to keep moisture down. Now that the summer's rolling in, this bed is going to be baked by the sun, it's going to dry out quickly, and generally speaking, most plants send out surface roots. That's how they get a lot of their moisture, a lot of their nutrients. They do send roots straight down into the ground. But by mulching, we keep all this how the plants like it. Moist, there's already plenty of fertilizer in there. Next video, video 3, we'll do some top dressings, some more feeding, but we really set this up with plenty of fertilizer. So I recommend grass. If you're going to use grass, make sure it doesn't have any kind of sprays on it. because those chemicals will leach into the soil and it will damage your plants. So you don't want to use any sprays on your grass. You don't want to pile it up like that. If you do, it's going to turn yellow, it's going to heat, it's going to really be composting, it's going to be smelly. What you're doing is you're putting down not more than a ½ an inch at a time. So we'll do a ½ an inch like this week. The hot sun will bake this, dry it out, turn it brown, and it becomes a great mulch. It's not going to feed the plants this year, but after this season you can mix it into the top of the soil, you can leave it there. It's going to become a great compost and organic matter for your garden, and it's going to help the soil develop. The other thing that I did is, this is the okra. There were 3 plants in here, thinned them down. There were 2 in here, thinned it down. There were 2 in there, thinned it down. You just want 1 okra plant about every foot apart. They're going to get really thick, really strong. So I will finish mulching up all the spaces, and then we'll go take a look at pruning the tomatoes and getting them set up. I thought now would be a good time to show you how to begin pruning and managing your tomato plants. So 4 weeks from planting, we're really getting into tending now and managing the plants in the garden. So here's a tomato plant, one of them, where nothing has been removed from the bottom. So what I like to do is slowly remove leaves from the bottom as the plant grows, so that I end up with about a 12-inch gap between the lower leaves of the tomato plant and the soil. With the mulch on top, that creates a disease barrier, but the gap also creates another barrier that makes it harder for soil-borne diseases to splash up on the leaves. It also allows air to circulate through, and that helps manage pest and disease too. So here are the leaves that I've taken off the plant right over here. It looks a little bit drastic, but I removed, I don't know if that's 4 inches or so, but 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves, a couple of suckers, and I will let this grow a little bit more, and then I will remove a few more. Just to show you what a sucker is, you have a leaf that comes out, the main stem that goes up, and this is a sucker that will actually turn into a full production stem. And they're not bad. You may want to leave them there. Here's a bigger one right there. So you have the leaf comes out here, the main stem goes up here, and the sucker comes out of here. I'm going to leave a lot of those. I like to prune them from the bottom to create that gap I was talking about, but this will continue to grow. It will put out leaves, flowers, and it will grow tomatoes. So suckers are not bad. We're just going to have to prune them to manage them as we send them up this post. When this is a little bit bigger, it's getting close, I'm just going to tie it loosely like that to the post, and this tomato plant will go up there. So I'm also going to be taking care of the tomato plant. So this first month after the seeds have come up, after the plants are getting hold, you're really tending the garden and getting it in shape. I mulched up the middle bed. There's the other bed fully mulched too. And I actually decided to tie up the tomato plants. So they've both been bottom pruned, and remember, only take about 25% of the bottom leaves compared to the size of the plant. And as the plant grows, you'll remove more from the bottom. Airflow, splash barrier, all that. This is how I'm tying it. Just a nice loose knot, so there's plenty of room in here. And while you're out here, you know, tying up your first one, add in some more string just up your post, knot it to the post. And this way you don't have to go and get your jute or your string every time it grows a little bit. Just have it prepared, and as it gets taller, when you're out here, you just tie it and you let the tomato work its way up the post or stake. You want about a 6-foot post in there, 6-foot stake. No need to throw mulch in where the radishes are. You don't want to be pulling them out and getting grass clippings and stuff with your radishes, so you don't need to mulch there. The zucchini or squash looks wonderful. Some of the leaves are beat up, but that's okay. The new leaves coming out look wonderful, nice and dark. Again, we don't need to feed these right now. If you feel like your plants look a little bit yellow, they don't look good, go ahead and give them some fish emulsion, a water-soluble fertilizer. Nothing wrong with that. Cucumbers came up along here, 2 seeds per, and in all 3 cases, 2 cucumber plants came up. This one broke off, it's still growing, doesn't look great. Just get rid of it. You're better off removing plants that are damaged, that are struggling, and if nothing came up here, the season's still early, I would just put down more seeds, more cucumber seeds, and they'll be perfectly fine. They'll germinate, go up the fence, I'll have plenty of cucumbers. One strategy we're going to use is, as these plants get beat up, say mid-July, rather than trying to keep them going, we're just going to put down new plants. So you get a whole new wave of cucumbers and squash and stuff like that. and you'll be able to harvest into September or until your frost comes in your area. So we have 2 beds done. I'm going to just mulch this one up real quick. Storm is on the way, but let me clear this out, and then I want to talk to you about composting and getting that started. So I think things are looking really good 4 weeks in. Mulch is down here. This is all the basil. It's coming up nicely. I don't want to put mulch around there because when I go to pick basil leaves, I don't want to be pulling in pieces of grass, and they'll be perfectly fine just like that. So I do have a storm coming, so I'm not going to water now, but I just want to, you know, kind of put in your mind, you probably on average have to water about 3 times a week. It's going to vary depending on, you know, where you're at, the temperatures, rainfall, how hot it gets. So I can't give you an exact amount of times to water. But when you water, you want to give them a good soaking. You want the water to go in a good 6 or 8 inches. You want to keep the top of the soil moist. The mulch will help keep it moist. Your plants are going to thrive, and you'll have a great garden if you take care of the top 4 to 6, 8 inches of the soil with feed, the fertilizer, and watering. These plants are going to really thrive and they're going to really take off. So, quick recap, we have the basil right there. Eggplant are looking pretty good. Flea beetles are something I get every year. The dust is taking care of it. Tomorrow I'll wash it off if the rain doesn't do it tonight. Peppers look great. The pole beans are growing really well. You can see them, they're starting to climb right up the fence like I planned, so the beans are doing great. Cucumbers, squash or zucchini, I forget if it was a zucchini or a squash plant. Tomatoes, radishes. I don't remember if we put potatoes in the beginning, but I'll go over these in future videos. The containers are a great way to add to your garden because you can put them around. Just give yourself enough space to walk. And then over here we have the cilantro down the right side. Probably should have omitted the mulch on there because again, when I pick the herbs, I don't want to be pulling grass clippings into them. Okra right in the front, and some cucumbers. And I have more space right here for other plants. Now we're going to go over talk about composting in a second. Real quick, I sell these fabric pots at my seed shop. These are 20-gallon pots, the bigger ones. You can grow cucumbers in a 20-gallon pot. These are 2 determinate tomatoes. They get to a set height in a 20-gallon pot. That's some watermelons. And then over here I have indeterminate tomatoes, the ones that grow and grow, a Jubilee and a Homestead in a 20-gallon pot. Pots are a nice way to really set up a space without having to use a lot of soil, buy a lot of soil, build raised beds. Strawberry tower, looking good. All right, so hopefully your area's starting to look like this. Use the mulch. Grass clippings about 1/2 inch every week. When it's thoroughly dry and brown, if it happens in a week, next week when you cut the grass again, go ahead and put more down. You want a nice layer of grass mulch on here. I do recommend you get composting. If you have the space, you can set up anything. Just a pen like this. These are leaves from last year. I'm actually growing potatoes in them now. But you can just drop in your grass clippings, all the weeds that we took out of there today could go in there. You don't have to use it right away. It could sit in there for 2 years, 3 years, but you want to have compost available because that's how you're going to save money, you're going to feed your garden, and you're going to take care of it without having to spend a lot of money. The more compost you have, less money you have to spend on organic fertilizers. All these bins you don't really need. Here's one that is 3 years old. This is just an old, it's not, well, it's old now, it's 3 years old, but this I bought on Amazon. It's for a dog. It's just to kind of pen the dog in if it's in the house, but I used it for my compost pile. The stuff on the bottom is 3 years old this year. Eventually I will dig out what's in there and I will use it in my garden. But if you can just get something like this started, start dropping in your grass clippings, your weeds, whatever, you're going to have great compost and we can use it right in the garden. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this gives you some confidence to start a summer garden. Really right now, for the next 2 to 4 weeks, we're going to be just taking care of the weeds in there, putting down the mulch, watering regularly, and then we'll get to feeding in the next video. And let's just take a quick look. And here comes the rain. I mean, I'm really happy with this. Nice garden, growing as I wish, some problems, but the insect dust is taking care of it. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my seed shop at the Rusted Garden Homestead.com.